I'm Mette. I'm part of CITA, Center for IT and Architecture here in Copenhagen, and we have made Zoirotia, which is the large-scale installation in the BioMedia exhibition. So, what keeps your work alive? I think it stays alive because it relates to the space. Its movement rhythms are very slow. It continuously pulses in respect to the exhibition space. And I think it has a sort of perpetual motion that keeps it breathing. Have you ever been friends with a device? I don't know if I've been friends with devices. I've definitely been non-friendly with devices. We work mostly with the idea of spaces, so the devices are maybe spaces instead. So if I've been friends with a space, I think that's a really good question, because if in our work what we're trying to do is to think about spaces that have their own behaviors, that have their own rhythms or sort of spatial choreographies. And as such, they start gaining their own personality. And that personality is not sort of subservient to its user, but rather something that we need to coexist with. So I would say yes, that this is the aim of the projects, is to try to consider how could something have an inherent self, and how could we correlate to it. Which media do you depend on? Well, Zoirotia is knitted, so in many ways we depend on a material system that is highly manipulable, something where we can be in control, or we can find the way of hyper-specifying these textile membranes and creating the form-found shapes that they have and place them around you. At the same time, it's also an actuated structure, so we're also depending on the ability to program the responsiveness in respect of programming the motors that are actually actuating it. What does living mean to you? This is a very profound question. I think obviously living in some way means organism, life form, it means metabolism, it means a relationship to its environment. But I think when we look to robotics and to responsive systems, then we often think of it as being a reactive mechanism. So something that can start creating its own emergent logics, its own emergent behaviors. And I think expanding ideas of living technologies to something that is not only about the organic, but is also about the complexity of its responsiveness, gives us a much broader framework to work with. So I would very much like to work or live in a world where synthetic living is part of our vocabulary or part of our thinking. Would you upload your mind to a cloud? No. But also I think it would not make sense, because I am not my mind. I am my mind and my body cognates and is part of my experience as much as my mind. So I think unless you can upload my arms and back and belly and head, then I say no.